Hey, Quentin, Andy Greeter with the Pioneer Press. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Walk us through kind of your process of coming to the Gophers and what other options you had in recruiting before coming here.
So when I was a senior in high school, it was like I believe in like January. I just had a bunch of Division II offers, and then I offered at the University of St. Thomas. And then I was thinking like, oh, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? So I ended up committing to Duluth, and then I ended up getting a contact from one of the recruiting coordinators here, and they walked me through a process of like, hey, we think we got an opportunity for you here. And then from there, I mean, they offered me a preferred walk on, and then Wisconsin also offered me a preferred walk on. So, and I was like, hey, where do I want to go? Where do I want to go? And it just felt like home here, so that's why I came here.
As a Wisconsin guy, did you have a following or fandom growing up?
No, I really didn't. Like, everybody's like, oh, you had to been a huge Wisconsin fan. I really wasn't. Like, I didn't care. Like, I was just like, hey, I'm a fan of college football. So whoever's doing well, I was just a fan of.
I imagine you had to have a lot of faith in your ability to take the preferred walk on spot.
Oh, I mean, like if you're anybody taking a preferred walk on spot, like you got to believe in yourself, you got to bet on yourself, and you got to feel like you can do it, and you can go out there and you can compete with everybody at the same level as whoever's out there. So.
Hey, Quentin, Daniel House here. Nice to meet you. How did Menominee Falls and the community sort of shape who you are as a person?
They shaped me as a person. Like, I mean, ever since I was little, like everybody was like, "Oh, it's Quentin and my brother Evan." So like, and my sister, I got a younger sister. So, I mean, they all took us under their wing, and I mean, was that through religion, or that was through the school, or that was through like extracurricular activities? I mean, everybody was just like, we're all like a huge family there, and I mean, I love everybody back in Menominee Falls. I mean, they still support me to this day. So, I mean, like, it's a lot of love back at home.
Quentin, Randy Johnson from the Star Tribune here. Nice to meet you. What's been the biggest challenge adjusting to major college football?
I'd probably say the biggest challenge is just like knowing that when you come in, you're not that guy anymore. Like it's different. Like you come here and you see some dudes like. I mean, a couple, like our receiver room. Like I look at our receiver room, I'm like, I see some dudes like Mike Brown, Stevens, Daniel Jackson, Dalen Wright, Mekhi. I mean, we got a bunch of dudes in our receiver room. Especially we got a leader like Krabs. So I mean, like, it's different because I mean, like I was always the guy in high school and in middle school and elementary school. So like coming into this, it was a tough adjustment at first.
What was Evan's process to come to Minnesota as well?
Sort of similar to mine, but he had a lot more interest actually. So like he had an offer to North Dakota to play corner, and then he also had preferred walk on to Wisconsin, and then he also had a preferred walk on here after the camp. And then he was just like, he called me one day. He's like, hey, dude, I don't even know what to do. And I'm like, hey, you got to do whatever you want to do. But I was like, it'd be pretty cool to play with you again. Like, we could do it like high school all over again and be the same tandem duo we always talked about. And I mean, when he came here, he's like, I just fell in love with it. Like, it felt like home. So he ended up committing here. So that was pretty cool.
How many years of varsity did you guys play together?
We played 3 years of varsity together. So, like, we've been together for a while. So, yeah.
What's it like having him on the team?
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, I can go to my brother for anything. I talk to him every day. I mean, we hang out all the time. Like, he's my best friend. So, him and my sister, they are my best friends. So, it's awesome having one out of two best friends here. So, I mean, there's nothing like it. I mean, playing with your brother, I mean, there's just nothing like it.
Quentin, was there a specific moment where you knew football was something that you really wanted to pursue?
Yeah. Actually, I was always a multi-sport athlete, and like high school, I'm sitting here like, hey, like I wanna be a football player. Like I've always thought like, hey, I want to go to the NFL. I want to play college football, but like it really didn't come to fruition until like I was like a sophomore in high school. I stopped playing basketball. I started working out more, started weightlifting more, started doing more necessary football things to get my skill better. So yeah, probably sophomore year.
You just talked about your squatting ability. What is your max and does that turn heads? in the weight room?
A little bit, like everybody, like I came in and I'm the smallest guy on the team, especially height and weight wise. I mean, I might be catching Mo a little bit in the height, but weight wise, I'm definitely the smallest guy on the team. So like when I do squat and I do bench and power clean, everybody looks at me and they're like, "Dude, you're a strong dude." And like I don't know if it's genetics or just me working hard, but like yeah, I mean, it turns a little bit of heads, but at the end of the day, everybody's strong in the weight room. So, like, I mean, we're all in college, so I mean, it's really not that big of a difference.
What is the squat max?
I believe Flex said it was like 550. So yeah, I mean, I don't really look at it. I mean, they just tell me what it is, because I mean, I just do whatever they tell me. Hey, go squat this weight. I'm gonna go squat it. I'm gonna get under the bar and go squat it. So yeah, I mean, that's what they told me. So I'm like, hey, that sounds good to me.
Can you walk us through your big return in Illinois?
Yeah. So I mean, coming out the second half, we're looking at each other. Everybody was like, "Hey, like, we're in this game. Like, we can do it. We can do it. Like, hey, we're behind, but hey, we're not that far behind." So, I mean, we came out, and I'm sitting here, and everybody was like, we were talking on the sideline. We're like, "Hey, we're gonna get one. They're gonna give us one." So, we went out, and I saw the ball in the air, caught it, running into the catch, and I saw the hole that my teammates created for me. I mean, they worked their butts off to create that hole. I mean, everybody did their job on that play. So, like, I mean, it's all credit to them. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to get out how I did. And then I saw the cut back, and I was just like, hey, press the sideline and just go. Just go. Don't try to look back. Just go. Because at the end of the day, you start looking back and stuff. You start worrying about who's behind you. That's how you get caught. Unfortunately, I got caught, but but I mean, it was fun though. Like getting 92 yards to set our team up for success and to score and to take the lead in the second half. I mean, that's what I'm all about. Like I just want to help the team out in any way.
Hey Quentin, nice to meet you. Amir Ogunyadi from gophersports.com. I'm just curious, if your mentality is different when you're returning a kick versus when you're returning punts?
Yeah, I'd say it's a little different. Returning kicks, I'm thinking, all right, just like if it's above my head or something like that. Like we're all about field position in our special teams unit. So I mean, if that's punt or kick, but with a kick return, I'm thinking like, okay, I got a little bit more wiggle room to go and try to do my thing. But punt return, I'm just trying to get the ball back for the offense. And hey, if I'm able to get some return yards, I'm able to get some return yards. But I mean, it's all about getting north and getting positive yards, and not dancing back there, and just getting the ball back. Because at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. That's what our program's all about, is the ball. So yeah, I'd say my mentality is a little different back there.
This might be a tricky question, but how much freedom do you have with calling a fair catch versus returning it? And how much
Uh,
of it is circumstantial?
I have quite the freedom, especially in the punt. Like kick return, like it depends like on what our game plan is. But punt, I have a lot of freedom for it. I mean, I have Coach Simon help me on the sideline. He'll let me know if like you got a lot of room, or if you don't, like you got to do. But at the end of the day, it's my call. Like he can't tell me like, oh yeah, now you got to fair catch it if I got a lot of room. But he'll advise me. He'll be like, hey, you might want to fair catch this one, or he'll be on the sideline being like, hey, fair catch it. And then I gotta listen to him, because I mean he's my eyes, so I'm not looking at the defenders. He's my eyes, so he helps me out a lot in it. So I would say I got a fair share of freedom in it though.
Time for a couple more for Quentin.
Quentin, what are some of the traits that you think every successful return man must have?
I think some of the traits are, you got to be fearless. I mean, you got to go out there and you just gotta know like, hey, like I might get hit, I might not, but at the end of the day, I gotta get the ball. I gotta secure the ball. I gotta make a positive play for my teammates, whether that's just fair catching, whether that's getting a 5 yard return, whether that's getting a 10 yard return. Anything positive is successful in our minds. So I mean, I feel like you gotta have the mentality of, hey, like I just gotta go out there and do my job, and I gotta do it to the best of my ability. And also, I feel like you gotta be back there, and you just gotta be like, hey, you just gotta be chill, just hey, calm down, relax, because I mean it's just you and the ball back there, so you just gotta relax your mind and just know that everything's gonna be all right.
What's it like having so many brother pairings on the team? I think there's like 4 or 5. What's it like knowing that it's not and Evan, but it's Newbins, Rushmeyer's on down, Cali Manis is on down the line.
Oh, it's awesome because it feels like everybody's just like you get the like second half of like the person, like everybody's like sort of like a half of like their family, and like usually like the brothers like the second half. So like you get like two different personalities and you'll be like, okay, I understand like where they come from, and then you'll end up meeting their parents, and then it's just like, oh my gosh, like they're the exact family. Like they're one's the mom, one's the dad. Like they're both their personalities. So, I mean, I think it's awesome.
How does Evan compliment you?
He compliments me in many ways. I mean, he keeps my mind right. Like he'll come up to me after a game if I'm like, hey, like I could have done this better. He's like, hey, like yeah, you'll get it though. Like he keeps me grounded. He keeps my head right, and he keeps me just keep going and. He makes me want to do things that like I just don't want to do for myself. He's like, hey, like you could really do something for this team and help out this team. And then, I mean, I say the same thing to him. I mean, I know he's young and everything, but I mean, he could be working his butt off, and then next year you never know what he might be doing. So,
For Quentin? All right, thanks for joining us today, Quentin.
thank you.
Thank you.